Thank you, Tommy, for all those nice things you said about me. You could have left that one about going down to Vieux Carré district. I'll tell you, we were the best dancers on the ball club. I had a little girl down there by the name of Billy Dubuque, a little French girl. I shouldn't tell this because my wife's here. Anyway, I'll tell you something. When you dance with her, just like a clean vine, you know what I mean. I'll tell you, you can dance one side, dance the other side, and you always look, there she is, you know what I mean? And besides that, she could drink more Coca-Colas. I think she had 10 Coca-Colas that night. Of course, the big drink down there was Cuba Libras. That's a little rum and Coke. And she had 10 of them, and I'm going to tell you something. She walked right straight across the floor, and believe me, I had a hell of a time following her. But there's Mike, you know, my son, you know. He and Tom, well, they're great speakers. Tonight he was talking about all these wonderful kids that are getting all these awards, you know, and all this. And I thought there for a moment he was talking about me. See, I went to North Carolina for 5 years. And Jim Tatum was my roommate. And Jim was, well, he and I got around a little bit. And so I'll never forget the time it come time to graduate. So we only had 2,500 students at North Carolina at that time. So Dean Carroll called me in and he says, he was the dean of the administration school. He says, Tom, he says, I understand you can play baseball. I said, yes, I do play a little. Well, he said, I'll tell you, you better go play baseball because you're not going to graduate. But anyway, there's Mike and Tom. I'll tell you, they get all this oration or speaking from their mother. Now, when I'm at home and they're there, I open my mouth, they ignore me. Now, she'll talk and talk and talk and talk, and then they'll listen. But I'll tell you, now I'm getting hard of hearing. And, you know, it has its good points and bad points. So now she has to move over to the other side to talk to me. But I'll tell you, she's a wonderful person. She's put up with me for 50 years. We've been married last year, 50 years. And I'll tell you, 35 of those years have been happy ones. You know, I can remember we used to get $2.50 meal money. Now, we'd go on the road for maybe 10 days. He's the only guy I ever knew come back with most of his meal money. And he'd never lose a pound. Finally, I found out what was happening. He used to go around to different guys that he knew on the road and this and that, and he would be getting free meals. So, well, he was known as what was that fellow's that, Tommy, not Milton Berle, that other fellow that was so stingy. Jack Benny, yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I think Jack Benny turned inside out, you know? No, I shouldn't say that, Tom, huh?
You did, though.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I want to thank the committee. This is wonderful. I really enjoy, this is one of the greatest highlights of my life. I have a lot of friends out there. Freddie Del Grosse, and Bobby Loznak. Freddie puts a big affair on every year for the old timers. Well, I guess we get about what, Freddie, 200? Well, anyway, I think we went, how many barrels of beer did we go through, Tommy? Freddie? Well, anyway, you know, the more beer you drink, you know, the more you talk, and you can hit more home runs, and the pitchers are getting everybody out, and let me see what else. But anyway, Tommy, well, he would have never, I'll tell you something, seriously, he would have never made the big leagues if it wasn't for me. You know, I was the leadoff man. And naturally, for him to get the record that year of most runs batted in, somebody had to get on base. So he batted fourth, and I was the one getting on the base. And of course, and then I try to keep him straight. I'll tell you, that was a rough job keeping Henry straight. You know, he always wanted to go out and do things, and I tried to say, there was one thing he did do, though. He stayed at home. The rest of us might go out a little while, you know. He would stay at home. He liked long hair music. But then now, just tonight, he told me, he says, you know why he stayed at home? I said, no. Well, he said, Mrs. Jameer always had something special for dessert, he said. Well, anyway, thank the committee. All right, I'm leaving. Well, I'm like my son, Humble Mike, you know. Honest to God, when you get a captive audience, I'll tell you, it's really something, isn't it? Hey, Terry, you know, you're going to have, I don't know how much you're getting, Terry, but I'm telling you, I'm not going into extra innings. Thanks, everybody. Thank you all.